It's fleeting science from a bloom effects perspective. We have 2 weeks in the year where everything happens, because I know that I call Hein a tulip farmer, but his actual title is bulb grower. What they're wanting to sell as farmers is the bulb. Everything you see above the soil is actually waste. And that's where bloom effects steps in. The chopping happens literally within 2 weeks of blooming, because the flower has two reproductive systems, the seed box and the bulb. Just like in the beauty industry, we want a quality control. Like, you don't want to buy a serum and then accidentally get a moisturizer because the ingredients were wrong. A tulip farmer, he wants to make sure if you order a pink tulip, you're getting the right pink. They're all different SKUs. So he's got to control his SKUs to make sure that everyone gets the quality of product. So they chop off the top of the flower because they don't want them to pollinate. If bees were to pollinate a seed box, they would be flying to a white flower, to a pink flower, and then you might end up with a stripy white and pink tulip. They bloom for 2 weeks in the year just to make sure the color is perfect, and then they go ahead and chop all the heads off.
That was the most devastating part for us to learn. They're the most beautiful part, but not to Hein, because that's not what his family sells. You have this whole bulb selling business. Now I want to take the tops of the tulips, upcycle them, and make a brand.
I actually had the aha moment because I was being a little bit difficult, saying, I love tulips, but my pet hate about tulips is that they actually can flop over in a vase. And I assumed that he would have a top hack, like put a penny in the water, cut them at a certain angle. Hein's reaction to that was, that's the beauty of tulips. They're one of the only flowers that continue to grow after they're cut, and they can grow up to 3 inches or more. And that's the light bulb or tulip bulb moment for me, that I was like, wow, that's regeneration. What does that do? And with my beauty background, I was like, has anyone discovered what are the compounds in a tulip that create this elongation and growth? What could that do for the skin? Hein was like, whoa, 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 I don't know any of this. I just grow them. He was really quick to say, hey, maybe there's a government grant we can apply for if we were able to show circularity and that you were using waste or byproduct from my farm and upcycle them into the beauty industry, and we could discover something interesting, perhaps then we could get a government grant. So that's exactly what we did. And we ended up working with the University of Leiden to discover the compounds auxin and keratin in the stem and the bulbs, and that's what's responsible for the elongation and the growth.
Every product has those two ingredients within them?
Yes, every product has our proprietary Dutch tulip complex, which is really just bulb and stem, and we extract the stem cells. The black tulip collection that we have is pure black tulip petals. And that is the choppings that he's, chopped off the heads, and we take those petals and we upcycle those. So we chop here, and then the raw material supplier is actually based in France. And then our bulk fill and assembly is all done in the US.
Yeah, because by the way, these are their fields.
Yes, this is the
family
family
field. They have many
field.
of them.